All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? It's the talented Mr. Taco here with the Nets versus Bucks prediction video. I got Coach Brandon on here today to help us out and get us a little more insight as we get deep into this series. How you doing today, Brandon?
I'm chilling. What's going on, Taco? How's it going after that tragic Knicks series, we had to deal with?
Listen, man, as we get a day after that series, I'm not as heartbroken as I was yesterday. And I'm looking forward to the basketball that we got coming in this weekend, to be honest. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have even been where we are. Real talk. We were projected at 22 wins. We made the playoffs as a 4 seed. Anything after that was gravy. I mean, I'm actually kind of happy because we got to see what Julius Randle really was. Like, we were kind of getting all the smoke, and we was loving the smoke.
Yeah.
And realistically, he's a 2, maybe he's a 3. He's not a number 1. We got to get number 1.
3. 3.
Yeah.
He's a 3. I think he's a 3. No disrespect to him being a 3, but
a 3 is still fucking really good in the NBA.
But
like, you're still elite.
I think he's the kind of guy that us calling him a 3 is gonna make him a 2. Like he works. Julius Randle puts in the work, so I can't deny what he did this year. Everybody's saying he had the best year of his career, so I'm hoping he hears that and goes in the gym and works harder. But he's not a 1.
No, if he develops a right hand, he could maybe be a 2.
Man. Big deal. Knicks got 2 big time lefties who can't create shots for anybody.
They're drafting the same player.
And then they drafted OB with Mitch Robbins. Yeah. We can't go Knicks, remember? We get into the Knicks, it gets too crazy.
Instead, we're gonna go with the only team left in New York, and that's gonna be the Brooklyn Nets. And realistically, if they say styles makes fights, this is going to be an all-time great fight, in my opinion. When you look stylistically, these two teams are like, I want to say like almost opposites, but they're so similar at the same time. They're both headed by a big 3. One has, Holiday, one has Middleton, one has, Greek Freak, a little bit less known, but then the other side has 3 of the best players that, I would say NBA 2K has ever seen. And KD, Harden, and Kyrie.
I have not played a lot of 2K this year, especially not with them. I wouldn't even play with them, but sheesh, that's got to be fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, KD, Kyrie, and Hart. That's not fair on a video.
I can't imagine going online with that squad. Like,
thank goodness we don't play it in video games, right? It's a little different.
There would be that one team that you can't play. But like, what do you think about going into the series? Because I definitely have, I'm very opinionated about this, but I don't want to hear what you got to say first about it.
Yeah, so it's funny because this is a big debate, right? It's the Nets, it's the Bucks. That's it for me in the East. But to me, the Bucks are too, like, it sounds crazy to say, like, the Nets powerful offensively, great. They're getting it together. They're figuring it out. But the Bucks already have it figured out. They already have a system. They have a star who's a Greek freak. Chris Middleton is playing well. And you forget the defensive prowess of Drew Holiday plus PJ Tucker. They're going to give them fits. I don't care if they're getting 20 and 30 points. They're going to give them fits. And then offensively, the Bucks are going to spread you out. They got guys hitting shots who, like, Bryn Forbes. Like, Bryn Forbes just stand out there like, oh, I just get to catch the ball wide open and bang threes. He's the Joe Harris of the Bucks, So with that being the matchup and the Bucks having that experience and that hunger, and then last year feeling like, oh, we disappointed everybody. I don't know. It's tough. But then you think about the other side. You got greatness, and greatness, and then everybody else. So it's tough, but I think the edge goes to the Bucks to me in like 7 games. And I mean like 7 crazy games. Like 2 of them might be like blowouts. And then the other 5 would be like nuts. Because the playoffs already is nuts. Like I haven't seen the playoffs like this in a while.
And I mean, I'm agreeing with a lot of what you're saying. I think that Forbes has been one of the most underrated players on that Bucks team. Like, I think when we came in, we would look at Covington. We'd look at, guys like
nobody's thinking of Forbes.
Lopez.
Nobody's thinking of Forbes at all.
And this kid, he's been beasting. Like, if I was looking at some of the stats, like his amount of threes that he was hitting in each of these games was insane. And the number one thing that I love about what the Bucks did is, like, okay, they don't have the superstars of Kyrie and Harden and all that, but they built the team perfectly around Giannis. They said, Giannis, you cannot shoot. But Giannis, you're great at taking it to the rim. Giannis, you're good at kicking it out, and you're great defensively.
This is the LeBron. This is the LeBron model. This is it. Like, you just get shooters around a guy who could drive and kick.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what Greek Freak really is? He's just a bigger Westbrook. he doesn't, maybe he's not quite as athletic, but overall it's the same kind of thing. It's like
I don't
he
know.
wants
That
to get
guy's
to the rim.
ridiculous.
He wants to try to get those rebounds. He's going to pass it off. He's not going to really shoot, but he needs those guys around him. So when he does take it to the rim and they double off them, he can hit the open guy. And if they're knocking down those jump shots, it's going to be really tough.
Bryn Forbes just standing out there like, I never get shots this open. Oh, nobody's here. Let me just take my time, set up.
How about Brook Lopez doing that? Former number 1 pick of the Nets. Transformed his career from being a back to the basket type player.
Amazing. Both of those guys are still in the league. Both twins.
To now becoming a face-up shooter who's really actually shooting good percentages.
Deadly.
And when you think about it, if you have him on the floor, can you really run DeAndre Jordan out there?
No, who's guarding him? Who do they have that can guard him?
I mean, I think you're probably gonna have to either put Griffin or Claxton on him.
Like I said, who do they have that can guard him? Really, I don't think that's. I think Brook Lopez is just gonna stand out there, wait, catch the ball, just like Bryn Forbes. Like that's the issue, and the Nets defensively aren't good enough to stop that. Like what they did in that first series, they laid waste, and it wasn't a bad defensive team that they beat. So like. People aren't really paying attention because the Nets are, they're the hype, they're big three. But whoever wins this, I feel like comes out of the East because Embiid, man, he's not durable. The kid's a monster, but every time he has a really good game, I'm like, uh-oh, he might have played too hard tonight. And it's sad to say because he's really talented.
Yep, it's just one of those situations where it's like his body doesn't cooperate with his talent, because if he was just able to stay healthy, he would be, one of those guys just like a Jokic, where every year you're watching him in the playoffs and he's performing to a high level.
Most important ability, availability. That's it.
And you know what's crazy? You got Joel, who was the number 1 overall pick, and you have Jokic, who is, second rounder. Everyone looked at him and was like, this fat, he said like white kid who's really just a baller, like straight out
smart.
Stud.
Smart. He knows how to use his body. He works. You can tell he works on his game. He sees the game differently. Like he's telling guys, he's holding the ball like this, like cut, and then he throws it past to another guy wide open for a shot.
I feel like if Julius Randle could just watch nothing but Jokic tape,
it's not him. He can't be that guy. That's not his game. That's not something
too much. But
you don't learn that when you get to the NBA. And like Jokic learned that like way back. So like, and that's no knock to Julius. Like he could still be a great player in his own right, but he can't. That Jokic is just special. Like it's like you ever watch Sabonis. Sabonis' dad was like that. Like, you just stand out there and just pick you apart. Even
like Chris Webber. Chris Webber was a really good passer with those Kings teams, because between him and Vlade, they were just getting the ball all over the place. And I feel like that was the birth of this new school of basketball that we're playing, where you have the big men that can step outside and shoot. They can pass the ball off. And the game's really evolved since then. And I think about when you think about that evolution, you see a guy like Greek Freak. He's a definition of an old school player. He likes to go to the post. He can block. He can rebound. He's going to not really wow you with his threes or his free throws, but he's going to wow you with his effort and his hustle. And my biggest thing is, where do you think – okay, so the big three have their matchup. Where do you think the Nets go when they're looking to really get this thing cooking and they need that bucket? Who's going to be the guy that they're going to be going to, you think?
You're asking me this question. Like, because, as anybody's asking me
because here's what I'm going to say. We know KD's a walking bucket. We know Kyrie's a walking bucket. And we know Harden is a walking bucket.
That's great. Kevin Durant's getting the ball.
Greek Freak is going to be on him in the series.
Kevin Durant. I don't care if you put
that's the heavyweight matchup right there.
Besides Jesus, it's not a lot of people that could guard Kevin Durant, man. Like I'm trying to be like as serious as possible. There's nobody stopping KD. I don't care. Like Greek Freak could get 30 and KD gonna get 30. That's what I think of the series. Like KD could get 40, 50, but when it come down to it, you need that dagger from 37 feet. KD, pull up on anybody. I don't care who it is. It's going to go down. Like, I think they know that innately. They got to know that. Kyrie and Harden got to know that. Like, KD's special. He's special.
And I agree with you on that. But I do think to an extent, you're going to see Giannis being able to at least neutralize him somewhat, where he's not going to shoot 55% from the field as he normally does. I don't see KD hitting all his averages and then going above. He's never had a defender against him like Giannis.
I'm sorry to laugh at you, but he's KD's going to get 30 plus a game. Like I have no doubt in my mind. Like
I'm not saying that, but will his percentages be lower? Yes.
What do you do against LeBron when he had Golden State? Because remember, that's your comparison. That's your comparison.
LeBron ain't the defender that Giannis is right now.
LeBron, when KD was with Golden State, LeBron was still a good defender. He was still a solid defender.
He was.
KD was pulling up from 30 on LeBron with a hand up. Like I don't believe Greek Freak slows him down personally. I believe if anything, if Greek Freak has to guard him, number one, as a coach, I don't know if I'm doing that. But like
really.
Because you're taking away his offensive ability. You're matching up with KD one-on-one. You put PJ Tucker on KD, which is usually who guards him. Like, and then Greek doesn't have to work that hard defensively. So
would you change their starting lineup? Because as of now, with their starting lineup, they're running Lopez, they run Greek, they run Middleton, they run Forbes, and they run Holiday. So they spread the floor out with that type of lineup. Mm-hmm. Would you switch out a Forbes?
You're gonna see PJ Tucker play more. You're gonna see that because Kevin Durant. He this video of him saying to Kevin Durant, I didn't see you do that move last week when I was watching you. Like he's that much of a defender, and I think he's gonna be the guy on KD.
Now, would you put PJ Tucker on him, or would you put PJ Tucker maybe more on Harden as they played together for so long? So he might have more, like you said, if he studied KD that well, I can only imagine seeing Harden in practice every day and going against him. He might have a little bit more insight there.
It's possible, but I mean, like, you pick your poison. Who's Drew Holiday guarding? Like, you got to pick one of the three guys.
I think you have to put Drew Holiday on Kyrie Irving because while Kyrie Irving isn't the assist and facilitator that Harden is, Kyrie Irving is going to be going for 40 every night.
But I feel like you let Kyrie go off because when Kyrie scores 40, 41, do teams win?
I mean, LeBron won with it.
But with Kyrie, win once? Because there was only, I think, one time he had like 40 and they won. Because most of the time when Kyrie scores a lot of points, his teams, I don't know the percentages. I don't know the percentages. But
those last couple of games, him and James were definitely going off.
No, but that was like the one time. But like other than that, like seriously, like other than that, Kyrie, he's a bucket, but it's hard to win with the way he plays. Like if he has the ball in his hand, like Harden, if Harden's getting 40, it's scary because now he's got 40, he's got 20 assists, he's got like 8 rebounds. Harden's scary like that.
And I definitely agree with you. And I was looking at some of the leaders from the playoffs so far.
Shout out KD for having 35 and coming off Achilles, which is the toughest injury in sports.
Tell me he doesn't look like nothing's changed. Like he does not look like he lost anything.
He look a little slow to me. Yeah, that's normal. That's not normal person slow.
Right,
that's superhuman KD slow.
And it's even like with some age and everything, you kind of like you expect a little bit as he goes down, but like. Overall, he looks like Kevin Durant, and even this, I thought this was one of the most telling stats. He's averaging 2.2 blocks per game in the playoff.
Yeah, and we're talking big blocks. Kevin Durant don't just get like the normal like pink.
No,
he punches.
I think that's one of the most underrated parts about his game is that he's actually a really good defender. Yeah, and he's a team defensive player too. So not only will he get his man, but he'll look at the covering and switching over and everything that needs to be done. And I think that. It's going to be really hard to beat Brooklyn. Like I am someone that I agreed with you. Like, Bucks in 7. I had been saying that from the jump. That was my big hot take coming into this, that I do think the Bucks are going to pull it off. But damn, when you're watching the Nets versus the Celtics, the other game, and you're literally, I know it's like every one of them just taking their turn, but that looks a little scary, man. It's the
Celtics. And there's no disrespect to the Celtics. It's the Jaylen Brownless Celtics. Like it's not the same team. They have some issues over there this year. Obviously, something's going on. But like, I don't not say the Nets aren't great, but I'm not. I'm taking that matchup with a grain of salt. Like this is a team. Like this is who you face in the second round. Like play the Bucks. If they do that to the Bucks, I'm just gonna say, just pencil them in. Like give them the trophy. Like cool, Larry O'Brien. Nobody's beating him. Like seriously.
I think that's the next question I have for you. In my personal opinion, I think the winner of this series wins the championship. I just think that the way these two teams are built, and especially with knowing that the Lakers are more than likely going to be eliminated, it's going to be really. I think
more than likely now, huh? It just became more than likely. Wow. What time is it?
We got game 7 coming up.
8 minutes. 8 minutes until game 6.
You know,
LeBron in an elimination game. You're telling me that they Lakers are done, right? I want to hear it.
Game 6, game 7.
I heard KCP is going in the lineup tonight. Schroeder said he's leaving LA because he's so mad. But KCP's LeBron's guy.
That contract?
Huh?
Because he fucked up that contract. He turned down the $80 million.
That's his own problem, right? But
bro,
I don't like to talk about guys' money, but it was a silly move. But they're gonna win. I don't see them not winning. Not winning at all, because after this, I don't trust them at all. But they're definitely. I think they're gonna win this series. But hey, I could be wrong. I was wrong about the Knicks, right? Well, I can't. I wasn't wrong about the Knicks. I was hopeful. I was being a fan instead of really paying attention to what's going on.
I can say the same here, and I think that's why I'm so hesitant to call a winner on this one, because the more I watch the Nets, the more you kind of just feel like those three talented players will be able to carry you through anything. And then the more I watch the Bucks, I'm just like, God damn, the power of the fist, 5 fingers working together to cause the immovable object. So I think it's going to be a great series, and I think I'm going to stick with my original predictions here. I got Bucks in 7. I just think it's just too much on the defensive end. I think
the one thing I go with is you don't put a team together in 1 year and win right away. I don't think so. I don't think it happens that way.
And I think when we're seeing guys like Tucker, Portis, Lopez,
I forgot about Portis.
Like, they have 4 guys beside their big 3 that are all knockdown shooters that can play big minutes and that give them the depth and the rotational pieces to put pressure on these Nets. Like, they're going to have to score each of them 30 points probably and do it efficiently in order to win the series.
And they're going to have to play defense because the guys they're going to be guarding are actually like all players.
This actually might be Chris Middleton's, I want to say, national coming out party, because basketball heads, no, that dude is a beast. But most of the general public looks at Chris Middleton like, Chris Middleton? Who are you talking about, Chris Middleton? And then you just see him play, and you're just like, this guy looks like he could be, and he's a perennial all-star.
Look, who else is on their roster? It's just as bad. Drew
Holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah, he disrespect Drew all the time, and Drew just laughs like, hey, he says real ballers no. He says it all the time. Yeah. Real ballers no. Like go ahead, disrespect me all you want.
And the beautiful part about what Drew Holiday does is he's a good defensive player with anticipation skills. So it's like, if, like you said, they're going to watch a tape and they're going to see, okay, so when KD's going against Giannis, and when Giannis makes him go baseline, KD likes to dump it off. So guess what? Now I'm going to close out on that lane, and now we're going in transition. And you've seen him do it versus the Heat all season.
And they have the thing that they have a little different that I like is they have the ability, because they played together so long, they have the ability to make a change on the fly. Like, hey, this is not working. Go this way, go that way. Like, it's easy to have that conversation. Not to say that those 3 guys don't get along like that, but what about the other guys? Like, the Bucks have that with the other guys. The Nets, I don't know if they have that with their other guys, those 6, 7, 8, 9 guys.
Now, if the Nets are going to pull this off, right? Like, if the Nets going to do it, who do you say is going to be the biggest player other than the big 3 for them? Like, who's going to be that 4th wheel? That guy that's going to really end up showing up and being bigger for them? In my opinion, I think there's probably 3 guys that we all think about. It's going to be Joe Harris, who's going to be that knockdown 3-point shooter to be their 4th scorer. It's going to be Blake Griffin turning back the hands of time and actually playing big time and either equalizing or dominating on Brook Lopez. Or it's going to be Nicholas Claxton, the young kid that's actually athletic enough and versatile enough to get to the rim, be a rim protector, and give them some sort of, I want to say length, because I don't know how much I really trust Jordan in this series.
But that's the thing. The defensive, the bench is going to be – it's tough when you don't have a deep bench because you spend money on 3 guys. So really the key to this series, in my personal opinion, is injury. Like, if Kyrie stays healthy and KD stay healthy, I think that the Nets will have a 7-game series. Now, if one of those guys gets hurt, we talking things going down to 6 games, 5 games for the Bucks, because it's not easy once you lose one of those guys and you don't have those bench guys to fill in. So health is so big, winning championships. Like, everybody's like, oh, you got to win a championship. It's so easy. You put guys together, but like you don't, all those factors, like health is such an X factor, man.
And I want to say this, if winning championships was so easy, LeBron would have a lot more.
Yeah, and Yankees would too, right? You just buy all the players. Like it doesn't work that way in sports. You can't just we're gonna win. We're just gonna throw 3 guys out here and we're gonna win. No, you gotta play. You gotta work together in team sports.
And I think that's why 2 of my favorite championship teams ever were the Detroit Pistons that beat the Lakers because it was a team, and it was the Dallas Mavericks that beat those Miami Heat because the Miami Heat had just formed, and it was the same concept of Dirk Nowitzki being there with the team, already having lost the original title versus the Heat coming back. And
that's a lesson. To me, that was a lesson in basketball because we've seen that so many times where guys go, I'm going to join up with this guy. And it doesn't work. Why? Because the basketball guys are like, yo, this is a team sport. Everybody's got to get along. You got to know each other. You got to know each other's tendencies and what you're going to do. That's how it's the only way to win.
And to me, it's starting to feel like this might be Giannis's Dirk year. Like that year where Dirk just kind of pulled it off, where it was like the league was in flux. The super team was built, but it wasn't ready yet.
He's got the team to do it too. He's got the team around him and the culture.
I think it's the time to do it too, because next season, when the Nets have been together for a little bit longer and they have all those pieces,
and they're buying out veterans that in the off season that want to go win a chip.
So I think that if you're going to beat this Nets team, now's the time, because next season the Nets team is just going to be tougher because they've been together for so long, and God forbid they lose, that's going to be fuel to their fire.
The only thing stopping them is injury. Like that's all I really see. Injury or chemistry. That's it.
And maybe the depth piece, and I think that's only going to really show up versus a team like the Bucks, who can match a big 3 for big 3. Because before maybe the Sixers, but I don't think the Sixers would have beat a chance.
That's where the depth matters. Like if you injured, because Damian Lillard last night played 55 minutes last game or 60 something minutes. Like when you're playing those games, those tough games, night in and night out, and you're putting 30, 40, 50 minutes, that's when you need depth. Otherwise, your stars are going to get hurt. So that's what I see. If the Bucks can make this a really competitive series, let's see how long those legs can take this load. Not to say you don't wish injury on anybody, but it's you watch this, like those miles on those older legs, they hurt.
And so right before we wrap it up, I'm going to ask you one last question that's a little off topic, but what do you make of this Denver versus Portland series? Because Denver, who was hurt and we didn't expect it, they came back roaring. We got in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. Denver's up by 6 points, and they're looking like they're going to wrap it out after being down big in this game. Jokic and Porter put this on their back, and they clutched it out.
Michael Porter Jr. is a stud. That's what I make of this series. And the Knicks, we said it before, and you're like, don't dwell on it. I said the Knicks should have picked him, hurt back or not. You saw this kid play in high school. He's got that, like they said, that look in his eyes. He just – I know I'm going to take this shot. I'm going to hit this shot. Try to guard me. I'm 6'11", and I can shoot the 3. Oh, you're going to run on me? I'm going to dunk on you. Like, the kid's a stud. And Jamal Murray or not. Yeah, it's Katie Light. But I knew that watching him in high school. Like, he was that good, man. And, injuries. And, he's a baby. Hurt at 18. That's not the same.
Nope. And I guess the last question that we're going to have here is it time for Dame to finally say, I'm 30 years old? Portland, this is the best team that we've ever had, and we keep losing always and always and always.
Let's go to New York. That's what he should say.
That's exactly what I'm getting at, baby. Let's go, Knicks. We got a couple of first-round picks. So, Julius Randle, I love you. I love you, but goodbye.
If Dame wants to come to New York, I'm giving Dame whatever he wants to come to New York, because he is a New York player. Like, he's a New York dude. He's a loyal dude. He's a baller. He's at your throat, like that's New York. So if Dame wanted to come, Dame, come on over. Come on over.
Talk about Jimmy Butler to the Knicks, but Dame Lillard to the Knicks is the number one guy I want.
I take Jimmy too. I take Jimmy too, because look, Jimmy's a tough guy. He's a New York tough kind of guy. That's what you need. You need a leader and a tough guy to be in New York.
All right, so then if you had to pick one, who would you take, Dame or Jimmy?
Dame, that's not a come on, Taco. You have some silly questions tonight, man.
I had to set it up. You know what time it is. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this series. We're probably the two analysts here that's bucking the trend, because we both got the Bucks in 7.
I can't wait. I can't wait till they get us and we get on with the rest of the guys, and they have to break us down on after one win or one loss when everybody overreacts.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I had that same feeling when I had taken the Suns over the Lakers, early on. I had said Suns in 6, but let's see if I'm right tonight. You know what I mean?
go. Listen. LeBron in an elimination game. I do not listen. Some things are guaranteed. Death, taxes, and LeBron in an elimination game. You don't have to deal with all of those. You have to deal with all of those. If he gets eliminated first round, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But he's not going down without a fight. You see, he said get Schroeder out the lineup, put KCP in like that. He better make it work. That's what I say. You make decisions like that.
And on that note, we're gonna go get ready for this Laker game because must-see TV.
Must see.
And we hope y'all have a wonderful time. And peace.
Peace out.
Hey, David and Taco, they bring the heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat. Check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave.